With Christmas fast approaching, Americans are finding they're paying more for just about everything this year. In many cases, a lot more. The November inflation rate stands at 6.8%. We're paying 12.5% more than a year ago for meat, poultry, fish, and eggs. Housing rental costs are the highest since 2007. And prices at the pump, well, they've skyrocketed up 58% over this time last year. Here to share his thoughts is national radio and TV host of Financial Issues, Dan Celia. Dan, it's always good to talk to you. The highest inflation rate since 1982, Producer Price Index just out, which measures inflation at the wholesale level. In November, it grew 9.6% over 2020, and that's the fastest rate ever. So is there any relief in sight? How will skyrocketing prices for almost everything affect the Christmas economy?
Yeah, well, it's certainly going to affect the Christmas economy, Gary. None of this is good. 9.6% producer price index is astounding. And, you know, the vast majority of this, not all of it, but the vast majority of it is not temporary. It is here to stay. The majority of it is due to wages. Yes, there are some pressure from supply chains and bottlenecks in that supply chain. And yes, that causes a bit of inflation. But look, we've had money too cheap, too fast, too long, and it continues to devalue the dollar. The Federal Reserve continues to buy debt. We're facing another $2 trillion spending bill. So more debt on top of that, $2 trillion that the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, says it's going to cost us $3.4 trillion for that, when the administration says it's going to cost zero. So we continue to see the spending. The inflation is going to continue, and we have no jobs being created, only jobs being desired. We're at 11.2 million job openings, all-time record high, and nobody is filling those jobs. Remember that 9.6 number I just gave you, Gary, and you pointed out before we came on that, look, that's a November number. So I would suspect by the end of December, when we get that number in January, it's probably going to be double digits. And we're going to continue to see that go up.
Dan,
and you know, it's interesting.
Let me ask you about the unemployment rate, though. That's down to 4.2%. But we know the November job growth was weak. A new survey by McKinsey shows almost half of employed Americans say they're not working due to health reasons, physically and mentally. And 37% say they've been diagnosed with mental health issues or have sought mental health treatment. Wow. It seems the pandemic has taken a toll on the U.S. labor force. So how concerned are you about that?
Well, that's going to be our biggest problem that economists and analysts believe that we have, and politicians believe we have, is not there at all. Or we wouldn't be seeing such low unemployment rate. Look, the unemployment rate is low because we have clobbered our labor participation. So remember, unemployment is factored on a bigger number. So the number of the unemployment number is going down. So this is what happened in 2008, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we're seeing that same effect. We're going to have a very low labor participation rate, and we don't see any end in sight. The people that were laid off just as the pandemic started early on, the vast majority of them still aren't back to work.
Dan, what's your predictions for 2022? Will inflation moderate? Will our economy continue to grow at a robust rate?
I think our economy is not going to grow at all, but I think inflation will begin to subside. So it'll probably be, at best case scenario, late third quarter, but likely into the fourth quarter, inflation may start settling down and dropping a bit, primarily because of supply chain pickup, and hopefully we'll get some energy picking back up again.
Not to mention an election coming up in
Yes, that always
third,
helps.
fourth quarter. Dan Celia, national radio and TV host of Financial Issues. Good talking with you again, Dan, and we appreciate you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Gary. Always appreciate being with you. Thank you.